Lucila Maria Balderas, celebrating your life. Born in Ibagué, Colombia on November 27, 1934. One of 24 kids, the family lived in Bogota, Colombia.
People there are very happy. And of course, we like to get together, dance cumbias, bambucos.
We made our own toys. We had tops, we had marbles, we had yo-yos. We played all types of different games.
It was fun living there.
With their father's permission, Lucila and her sister Grace head to Chicago to live the American dream.
Lucy and my sister Grace came to the United States due to one of our cousins. Her name is Cecilia. Finally convinced my father to let them come and live in Chicago.
She made all the arrangements to send them over there, and then they lived with her.
Ever since they came to the United States, every single month they would help my mom and dad. There was every single month a check would get there from my sisters. You know, it's very, very responsible, very loving.
Lucila took multiple jobs until she landed a job at Harvey Spring Company. Through her and Cecilia's hard work and determination, the owner helped change the rest of their family's life.
So they initiated a talk with Mr. Harvey, the owner of the company they worked for, and he went along and he said there would be no problem. He says, not only will I sponsor you, but I'll also have jobs for some of the members of the family. So when he put the bond for the government, in case, just in case, that we were not able to establish ourselves here.
Through perseverance, the Bustos family gets the opportunity of a lifetime.
It was a very exciting time for me. I was 12 years old. And you know, being in Colombia and knowing that you're going to come to the United States, it's like you're going to heaven or something like that.
Through her great aunt Cecilia, Lucila meets Francisco.
She did not know any English. So what she did was enrolled in English class. And ironically, my dad was also enrolled in English class. Even though they weren't in the same classroom, they did go to the same school. My dad, however, was really good friends with my aunt, who my mother was living with at the time. And my dad would come and visit my aunt and just kind of hang out. And that's kind of where my parents initially got introduced. And then one weekend, they all decided to go out dancing. And through that event, at that time, that night, it was the first opportunity for them to really get to know each other. And you know, that one thing that they both had in common was a love of dance. So they danced the night away, and that's when the love happened. That's when the magic happened, and that's when they first met. And it was all history from there.
Francisco served in the military for 3 years and was stationed in Germany. But the distance did not affect their love.
They courted each other for about 4 months, and then my dad was enlisted in the military for 2.5 years. And within that time frame, they stayed in contact with each other via letters. And they did that for 2.5 years, and then my dad came back, and there my mother was eagerly awaiting for his arrival, and they continued to date. And I know that my dad had asked my mother for her hand in matrimony, but according to my mom, my grandfather had said, okay, you gotta wait another 6 months, let him make sure that he's completely done with his military service, and then at that point, I'll let you guys go ahead and get married.
Lucila and Francisco got married on September 6, 1958. The Bustos Balderas family caravaned to California for warmer weather.
My brother Gus came into place, and he recommended that we move to California. And my dad would, had accepted this as great news. When my dad decided to move to California, there was no hesitation from any of the members of the family.
So finally everybody decided, all the couples, everybody left their jobs.
There was about 5 or 6 cars, and there was a lot of people, a lot of kids.
It was a long trip, but it was so memorable because we were all together with the unity, the strength that we gave each other.
But the most impressive part of the trip was the Grand Canyon. Everybody went out of the cars, started going down the canyon, and everybody moved different ways just to admire and look at it. The journey was incredible.
After arriving, the family settled into 4 units in Cudahy, California.
The time when we first came to Cudahy, there was only 4 units, but there was about 30, 40 people. So actually, we had very limited room to actually live comfortably. But nevertheless, since we were used to each other and we always mess around and joke with each other, there was no inconvenience for us in that respect. We were extremely impressed because we have never seen a beach in Bogota or anywhere in Colombia for that matter. It was quite of an experience to see the immensity of the sea. And so we took advantage and just enjoyed completely the view and the beautiful beaches that I had in California in those days.
Lucila, Francisco, and the kids settled in Huntington Park, where they first called home.
I was born in Huntington Park. That was right after my parents came to Chicago.
You know, we lived in such a tight bedroom. We had bunk beds and we used to jump back and forth. And
I made us a closer family because we all grew up together and we were all within, a couple years of each other. So that always made it fun. You always had someone to talk to, someone to fight with. And then my mom was always the referee and everything. So she always had the final voice, final say in everything that happened in the house.
With the family growing and wanting better education for the kids, Mom and Dad purchased their first home in the beautiful city of Downey, California.
We thought it was great because we're moving from Huntington Park, which was kind of a lower end city, and we're moving to Downey. We're thinking, wow, we've hit the big time.
What I do remember about moving to Downey was the fact that we had a backyard. Here we were, there's 5 or 6 of us running around, roller skating, on the swings.
My mom, to make extra money, my mom would babysit. And it was always so much fun.
There was such a diverse group of kids. I mean, there was these little white kids, as I would call them, in that they had blonde hair, blue eyes. There was this family from Egypt. There was an Egyptian family and his 2 little kids as well. And then there was also some Latino kids. So it was a very multicultural group of kids all together just having a good time.
After a 10-year battle, Francisco loses his fight against cancer in 1998.
1998, we lost my dad to cancer. That was a really trying and tough time for our family.
It was hard, it was difficult, but again, it brought us all closer together. It made us realize just what family is. Family is being there when times are tough. Family is being there just to say hello, just to check in, see how things are going. That was a very difficult time in our lives. But like I said, we pulled together and we came out of it okay. We came out of it as a stronger family.
For the most part, we were able to survive and continue a lot of our traditions.
The Bustos and the Balderas get together for an unforgettable family reunion.
everybody together as one huge family. I think it was important because we realized the stage that my grandmother was in, and we wanted to capture that moment in time of brothers and sisters and cousins and uncles and aunts to understand the significance of, what our family has grown to.
Wow, this is our family. It's huge. Very seldom do we get the chance to hang out all together, and to have this special moment was incredible.
We're very fortunate that we have a family like that we can get together, and even though time passes, it's like it was just yesterday. You just keep going. It's really awesome.
When I think of the reunion, I think of denim. No, but one of the things that's that I think about when I look at those pictures and that video. When I look at my mom now and what she says to me and her beautiful blue eyes, I think of my grandmother, because in my eyes, my mother is my grandmother. We loved my grandmother so much. She was such a beautiful example of a mother to everybody, not only her children.
Para mí este es un evento muy especial, saber que tenemos toda de la familia, desde los más chiquitos hasta las más grandes. Y es la primera vez que lo celebramos así, que Dios quiera y seamos siempre igual.
In 2001, Lucila relocated to Brea, California to be closer to her grandkids.
2, 3.
Happy birthday! Welcome to your new home!
And now we live about less than a mile away from my mom. Just for the security of having her, knowing that I was going to need her help almost full time, and knowing that she's going to want to be closest to the grandkids.
A sense of support and stability to have my mother next to me within half a mile down the street. You know, being able to drive down there and have my kids spend time with her.
She was always insistent on taking care of her grandkids, and I thank her so much for that. Because I think she did a damn good job raising my son, you know. Not only does he have his bachelor's in civil engineering, he's got his master's. So I think her and my dad did a great job.
Lucila currently resides within 20 miles of all of her 6 children and 9 grandchildren. She continues to stay active and loves spending time with her family and grandkids. She also enjoys the opportunity to travel and see the world. If you don't find her at home tending to her garden or playing with her favorite companion Charlie Brown, you will find her socializing with her siblings and attending any family gathering that she is invited to. She also loves to cook and makes sure there is plenty of food to feed anyone who pays her a visit.
La reina del hogar, siempre tejiste con sonrisa los amargos ratos y horas de dolor, y ocultaste con valor aquellas lágrimas de amor. Diste la sangre para que en mis venas yo tuviera siempre tu calor.